back to News Inside. Rivers State, a hotbed of political wrangling and fighting all the time. And the judiciary sits down aloof, not doing anything. Or will I say, is the executive that is more powerful? Okafo, you're looking so great.
Thank you.
Yes.
You didn't hope it's working?
Yeah, it looks as if. Oh, thank you. You know, you're always prime and proper.
They are the one that removes us in that, so I will look back.
Philip, Rivers State. Yes. I mean, always a hotbed of news. And, you know, let me tell you the truth. We're talking about Rivers State now. This thing actually didn't stem from Rivers State. This ruling with 2 or 3 or 5 assembly members, and it has left unchecked. And if it continues like this, I don't know what hope we have for democracy in our country. Philip.
Yes, the news today is there's crisis in Lagos State House of Assembly.
Yes.
Where the DSS and all the rest of them, deprive the substituting speaker from assessing the House chamber and to carry out, her duties. Down the south in Rivers State, Fubara is saying that, look, whether there's court of appeal judgment or Supreme Court judgment, it's not going to recognize the Pro-Wike lawmakers. That whatever the National Assembly Caucus for Rivers State is saying is rubbish. Far away in Kano too, there's also crisis. You see, the whole country is in quagmire.
A political crisis.
And this is just about 19 months into this administration. Why all this crisis? Why can't these people they let us sit down and govern? This is a big issue, especially Rivers State. Fubara is saying it's Fubara, Wike is saying it's Wike. So where do we go from there? What happened to the rivers? Who are
the people?
The people of Rivers State. It's a surprising thing that the people who offer themselves for election and they eventually elected do not take the interest of the people to heart. All they are concerned about is their self-aggrandizement. That's what is playing out.
Okafo, they said when 2 elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers it.
Yeah.
Definitely, as it's going on everywhere now, the politicians are concerned only about themselves. And like I said, sir, I said, this ruling with 6 members, 2 members of the judiciary, which is supposed to be an arm of government that is separate from the executive, is now being controlled by the executive.
A lot of sides to it. The elephants don't have to fight. The 2 elephants don't have to fight. Oftentimes, the fights are provoked by one thinking you are elephant and the other is not an elephant. Or you are elephant for life, then the others cannot become elephant. So, but I had thought that they would have taken political solution that was offered to them, particularly in Rivers.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. They were begging one particular person, almost begging, saying, it's okay, calm down. 19 months have passed. You have not been able to quash Rivers. It means that if you're an elephant, there's also another elephant, and you people don't have to fight. And you became elephant first, doesn't mean more people will not become elephant. Be that as it may, we can't reduce what happened on December 11th, 2023, that members of the House came to the floor of the House under the public, they are not acting film, even though Fayemi told us that most of the times politicians are acting film, declared that they have moved from one party to the other. Also, subsequent to that, making an attempt to impeach the governor cannot be thrown into
under the carpet.
After that, there was opportunity for them to reconcile. I had thought all of them would embrace that. Now, going to the court of Justice Omotosho, the judgment, what were the prayers in that judgment? You know, the court used to say something that it's only God that will give you what you didn't ask for. It's only God that will give you what you didn't ask for. What were the specific prayers of that case that they got the judgment at the court of appeal? So they will have to look at and examine the specific prayers. Granted, that judgment subsists for life, having been withdrawn from Supreme Court. So they will now look at the specific prayers of that judgment.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So, but when there is a court order and there is a court case somewhere, you do not suspend a court judgment because there is a court case somewhere. It doesn't make any meaning. But you have to look at the specific prayers of that judgment and what it impedes and what it touches. Any just judgment about people, because two of us are quarreling for this microphone, doesn't mean that there's another judgment elsewhere for our phone that it must be applicable to our microphone. There are prayers for this and there are prayers for that. So those should be taken. They have to evaluate that and check it rather than just calling name or blah 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 this and that or this and that. So that's on the legal side, but I still put it forward for the purpose and for the sake of Rivers people. These people can settle this evening. They can settle
and sheath their sword.
They can sheath their sword today, for the purpose of ensuring that Rivers people are fully represented in the House. Like you said, this nonsense has been happening. Even Wike himself did it, but for a short while, so he didn't draw the attention.
You know, there was no fracas like this.
And also, he didn't have the support of the federal.
Exactly.
So he was quick to settle and everything got going.
Then Obaseki
did it. So people, they've been doing a ruling with
Obaseki did it in 4 years.
Ruling with 2 members of the House, denying people representation. So they need to come together, and I think Fubara, no matter what the law says at this point, if at any point in time people extend hands of friendship, it's always very good to take it. When you show move and action, you are not completely in charge of the action.
Philip, these things continue. The Fubara's camp. I really wish you didn't speak in parable the way you spoke, because you spoke a lot in parable. Because the time has come for us to be identifying parties the way they are. That's the truth. Because it's about Nigeria, not just about you. You will come and go, Nigeria will remain. So on this premise, of course, we know that there is a Pro-Wike and there is Fubara. These are the two camps. There are no go in between. And people are saying, Wike, face Abuja, you have finished your 8 years. But of course, we also know that he has boys there, and he said that the party structure belongs to him. But we know that the party structure don't belong to him. What do you have about that?
Well, talking about River State and the factions there, it's very clear. Wike is on the other side, Fubara is on the other side. But remember that Wike and Fubara used to be father and son, and things go bad, and then they are now on the extreme side. But for me today, I want to talk more of the crisis in the State House of Assembly. I want to focus more on the Lagos State aspect. You know, today we have Bola Ahmed Tinubu as our president, and he's a strong man of Lagos. And there's so many things in the news coming out from Lagos. We know we have had a lot from River State. Today we have read that the governor of Lagos State, Saulu, security has been changed. The commissioner of Lagos State has been replaced, and just yesterday the DSS went to the house and disrupted the sitting of the proceeding of the house. And we also have a letter circulating the internet that the sitting speaker has resigned, even though it has been debunked. And what is all this all about? Why this crisis? Why, like you always said, why the interest in the House of Assembly? Why can't the executive mind their business and allow the legislature to do their work? Why are they meddling into the affairs of the House of Assembly, and not only they want to control it? Why? What is the specialty there? The answer is before you and me, because that is the engine room of governance. They okay everything. In Lagos State today, before now, we used to know that, in fact, Turubu is law unto himself in Lagos State. But what is playing out in Lagos State today is speaking a different tone. Because if Turubu claims not to know what has happened in respect of impeaching the former speaker, Obasa, and he's saying that Obasa should be reinstated, and the other people are resisting him, it had never happened in Lagos before. So we should be mindful. We should be very mindful.
You know, there's something I always said, which it looks as if it's in the future. I say there is no way, except my political calculations are wrong. There is no way. There's just no way. Tinubu vying 2027 and the son be on ballot in Lagos. There's no way. I stand to be corrected.
Tinubu lost to Obi in Lagos. When people do not have anger of subsidy removal against him,
exactly.
people do not have anger of floating naira against him, and
high inflation,
yes,
hunger.
Now people have those things, and let me tell you, Lagos voting is not like any other state. Do you know what? Almost all Lagos towns and cities are connected. They are not like Osun State. There is bush from one place
from
in Delta, from Abo to Warri, you run 2 hours without any major city.
Lagos is connected.
You can vote and unvote. It doesn't quite happen easily in Lagos like that. That's why they try to deploy violence as a way of suppressing people down. So that's a story for another day. But this hunger or thirst that is developed by governors to control another independent and equal arm of government that is actually established with the singular objective to control you and checkmate you.
Yes.
You are not trying to control them.
But don't also forget that they don't do it only at the state.
Yes.
They do it even at the center. When the election is finished, the president that be shops for who becomes the speaker of the house and the Senate president.
The only time the president was not interested in picking the Senate president, which was in Bukola Saraki.
No, he was interested, but
he was ambushed. He was ambushed.
Yes.
And the only time he was ambushed, Saraki was going to code of conduct and one court to the other, almost for 4 years. So this hunger that until I control the entire house, on the entire Senate or entire legislature, I will not work peacefully with you. It's becoming a kind of epitome of autocracy. That is not democracy.
And you know another thing that we should also look out for? The governors that are giving way for new governors to come in must realize from past incident, from antecedent, that controlling the governor that you think you brought does not work. It has never worked and it will never work.
The question we will ask yourself, why he was there? Was he being controlled?
Exactly.
So why would you want to control him?
That's right.
Look, Wike was dancing in rivers. He was the Lord and Master over rivers when he was governor. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to control.
You want to stop growth after growing. It doesn't happen. I tell people, you want to put a president so that I can control him. Even though you make a mosquito a president, you can't control him again. It's not possible.
Okay, whether it's mosquito we are breathing now or we will be right back on News Insight.